My name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
And what more do you need for your Tuesday night? Welcome, folks, to Omni X-Men. This is the weekly show looking at Chris Claremont's run on Uncanny X-Men. We're on the 4th Omnibus. We're working our way through the John Romita Jr. era. The Storm has lost her powers and has strange mustachioed men chasing her era. It's really exciting. And that when I say we, I'm talking about me and No Good Comics.
Yo,
there it is.
Did you see I froze right before?
It was hilarious. Yeah. And Caroline turned off her camera and I was like, what's going on? Am I the only one doing the show? It's like, everybody's gone. Everybody's gone. Just blank.
I found my issue as well.
Are you? Oh, you newsies as well. I don't think I'm a newsie on this issue. So you and Lady F got me beat on this one.
Yeah. Can't wait. Can't wait.
How you doing, man? How you doing? Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, good, man. Doing really good. Happy Tuesday indeed. Yeah, we got some cool announcements, right? And we got a really cool guest as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight.
Well, then let's bring her out. One of the just legends for me in this community, Lady Fantastic. What is going down?
You know, just looking at the homework that I had to do for class today.
That's right.
You know, I've got thoughts. History is different than I remember.
Caroline, I gotta say, like, I feel very grateful to have found you in this community super early, and you know the enthusiasm you have for comics, the honesty, the comedy, the just the overall just love and passion for the funny books, and Lord of the Rings and everything else under the sun. Like, I really appreciate you.
Thank you. And likewise, I think probably both of us have appreciation for like escapism and fantasy and creative outlets. And this is definitely one place where I've gotten a lot of creativity, but also, you know, there's just, this is a fountain of ideas in comics and books. You know, read. God damn it.
Isn't that what Stan called it? The House of Ideas, right?
Yeah.
Carolyn, the last time we streamed, we were talking Southern Bastards. And
oh, yeah, we were.
I will never forget the education that I had from you, Greg, and JP on that one about the South.
Man, you know, bless our hearts.
They'll always be with me.
Is what we would say in the South.
That's right. We're glad to have you on.
Let's say hello to the chat, and then we're going to do some fun announcements, and then put Caroline through the ringer with her 10 questions here. So we got Kevin from Entropy in the Comics first in the chat. Narrowly, he was there at 2:00, so he was here 4 hours ago, and then Las Cruces was here like 2 hours ago, and then
Tailgaters.
Yeah, Adam makes stuff up. My neighbor to the north, he was here super early.
Love it.
Lady F is here in the chat and hey, on the show, and her link down below, so you can find Lady F on all the social medias.
Do it.
We got Tony, the old wolf, in the chat. What's going on, Tony?
Tony.
We got Candace Barbosa. What's going on, Candace? So happy to see you here. We've been missing our Magic Lasso, and he's back this week. We're so happy to see you here, Ryan. Check it off the list. We got Damien, Sleepy Reader 666. What's going on, sir?
Damien.
The Jackson Roy Kirk, the one and only. Damn, John, you need one of my buttons. What do you mean? Oh yeah, you got pins now? You got buttons? This is
pins.
I've been throwing some on. I got my lion cat over here. I got tiny little Cyclops over there. Sorry, I didn't have any other.
I have a Cyclops one, but it's, hold on, let me grab it. I actually have my pins right here because, you know, I have certain feelings about Cyclops. I'll show you the Cyclops.
I do as well. This is definitely a place for that. Let's see. Oh, there we go, Lady F. Oops, sorry, where is it? I need this one.
I can't stand him.
Wonderful.
You know, I had to get that because he was blasting his eyeballs out.
I got like a Scotty Young one there. Ooh, look at those. The Infinity Gauntlet. I see it. Look at you.
Like different characters.
I love it.
That is really cool.
Nice I've just been starting my collection. Now you clearly are running deep here.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Black Panther ones you've got are great. I love it.
I saved Latin. What did you ever do? If you guys have ever seen a Rushmore,
That's such a good movie.
Like this one, whale shit. And then this guy right here is the troker.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's Daria and Jane.
Yes,
girls.
Nice.
And then like
whacked
out acid Yoshi.
Looks like Skeletor up there.
Yeah, the cat and the pine. That's a pineapper. That's a pineapper. I need my space.
Oh my gosh, I
blue
love
shell.
It. Ooh, it looks like Ghostbuster Luigi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Luigi's Mansion.
Nice.
I love it.
These are great.
Fuck you, blue shell. No. Skeletor on vacation.
Oh my gosh.
He's got the shades.
Yeah.
He's all Hawaiian decked out too. I love it.
Idle, unreliable, and superficially clever. Hey, that's me.
That's great.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, so
good work.
All kinds of fun stuff.
Nice.
Good work.
Yeah.
What's up, Kenneth, in the chat? How are you doing, Kenneth? I hope you're doing all right.
Kenneth.
Good to see you, sir. Tiny little Cyclops. That's what Maddie says too. Oh, hot burn there.
Annoying.
Shots fired.
And I didn't see him once in here, I don't think.
You did not.
No.
What is up, Jedi?
Yeah.
What's up, Jet?
Yeah, he's doing his own story with Madeline at this point. So special announcement. Yeah, we got some stuff to share tonight. I'm going to start off by blowing myself up a little bit bigger here. We are announcing our artist commission. Our featured artist, sorry.
Of the show.
For this season, we try every season, and it's been falling on Justin a ton to help organize and start this. But the idea is we have people out in the community that are talented artists that do commissions, and we try to find someone to highlight each season that has a unique art style and really reasonable rates and can really do something special. And I had thrown this artist named Tony Silas out to Justin over summer, and I commissioned this piece that he did of. Technically, it's Talon, rest in peace, who is the like Laura Kinney that has aged up a little bit. And I had to kill in a Sentinel, of course. But he does a lot of great work with markers. So you get this really fun kind of neon style. And I'm going to share his screen here with us. This is his Instagram, Tony Silas.
For the record, that's not the piece.
That's my piece.
That's John's piece.
I'm just sharing some of his stuff.
Yeah.
If you're a Batman fan, you want some Batman stuff, he does a lot of great stuff with Batman. This is obviously Gene and Scott.
If you want the artwork that John just showed you, you're gonna have to break into his house.
A lot more expensive. Here's a Trinity. The whole Trinity squad there. Nice. So really, really talented gentleman. And he has been making a lot of great pieces. He was even selling some posters earlier this summer. Really just some really cool style to his work. Here's a team of X-Men together.
Love it.
And the link to his Instagram is down below. And the way this works is at the end of the season, we are going to give away a commission from Tony. And it'll include shipping from South America, and it'll include one character of your choice done in his style. If you want to add to it, of course you can. You can take your commission and add a background, like I added a Sentinel, or another character if you want someone fighting with somebody, or together if you're doing, like a Rogue and Gambit or whatever. So you all get to choose what you want this piece to be. And thank you, Justin, for dropping that link. That's how you spell Tony, Thony. So basically, it's all been paid for. All you need to do is decide what character you want. And if you want to add something, then obviously you can pay that extra little, I think it's like $45, and you can add another character. Or like I did, I added that Sentinel in the background. So you can decide. And then he usually does this little markup like he did for me. Different poses. Yeah, he gave me the chance to say, like, hey, do you like her standing on it? Do you want her sitting on it? Do you want her standing in front of it? Like, what do you want? And then I could kind of pick the layout that I wanted to have. And then I made the change of saying, I don't want just Laura Kinney. I want like her with the white in her hair, the older version. So yeah. Thank you, Tony, for being willing to work with us on this and giving us such a great deal on this piece. And those of you in the community can have a chance to win it. It'll be one of our end of season prizes. That's why you're answering trivia at the end of each show.
That's right.
So
put in the work.
Stick around to the end. And if you answer correctly, or if you make Caroline laugh the most, you will get on the list and have a shot at this. The questions for tonight, though, will be based on 187 that we read on Justin's channel last week. So definitely, build up your memory on issue 187, and or just be hilarious in the chat like you guys always are. I think that's it, Justin. Did I forget anything? They were doing all right.
Yeah, no, I think he covered it all. Excited to see what Thony comes up with. And I saw Chet said, I say, don't reveal the piece until the winner wins. That is an option. I forget how we revealed it at the end last time.
Usually we just reveal the artist unless like the first time I think Justin actually bought the piece in advance. This time you get to pick the chat. You get to choose what you want it to be.
Right. So we won't see it.
TM Nerdy is in the chat. What's going on, Travis? And we got Who Dat in the chat. What is going on? It is Lady F. She puts them in their backpack. There you go. She's just got them. She's got everything.
Yeah, Miss Bonnie. His daughter, little Bonnie, has been collecting enamel pins, and he said that she's been putting them on her backpack.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great spot for him. I just have my hoodie with my silly mug on the back, and I just decided to throw the pins on the front. Perfect for cons. Some
swag. You wanted to accessorize.
Fact. Nothing. No shame in that.
No.
All right. Well, now it's time to get to know Caroline a little bit. We're going to ask some yes or no or one-word answer questions for us to hear tonight. So, first one is a yes or no. If you can think of your 5 favorite X-Men characters in your head, are they all women?
No.
Ooh. Okay. Very exciting. Are any of them from the original team?
Yes.
Ooh, which one?
Beast.
Nice. Are you a furry Beast fan or a fleshy Beast fan?
Blue Beast fur.
Always, yeah.
I love that gentle creature. He is my man.
Oh, my stars and garters.
He would be a romancer.
I like him way better than the darker Beast we've been getting the last few generations. It feels like.
Yeah, the Beast that I know and love is an ethical, I'm driven by the pursuit of knowledge, justice, and truth.
There it is.
I love that.
I was highlighting the other day one of my favorite Spider-Man issues, which is the Larson issue that he drew where Peter goes to ask Hank about the possibility if he had a kid, could it be a mutant? And Hank has to kind of walk him through the science of it. And then they ultimately reach the place of no, but you're a dad. You're going to love your kid no matter what they are.
Yes.
It's a really beautiful. That's my Beast. That's my Beast.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's up, TK? How you doing, man? Good to see you, sir.
Beast. I think they use him because his name is Beast. He is the one that shows the most humanity. Right. And I think that's kind of the irony of
the appearance versus the inside, right?
Well, he's a beautiful human. And even though he looks like a beast, he's much more humane than many of the people that ostracize him. Right.
There it is. Okay. If you had a choice to live in these two places, which would you pick? Baxter Building or the X Mansion?
X Mansion.
You don't get Herbie. There's no Herbie.
I don't care. X Mansion's just it's like a dorm building with mutants, and you could just run around. I just remember staying up late, on Professor X, but he would no, but you could just go and gather, and there'd just be a room of mutants, and hanging out, pissing off Wolverine and shit. I would love it.
I love it. Yeah, keeping him up late, and he's got to complain. He wants to go drinking, but he can't.
Yes, and what if White Queen was a teacher, or Jean Grey, or any of the. I just give me a room in the X Mansion. I'm staying up all night.
Right.
Yeah.
So, this one, I know that you like some of the same villain-ish characters that I like. Is Magneto a villain?
No.
He's
an anti-hero.
Ooh, that's a good way. I've heard some people call him an anti-villain.
No.
I don't know that I know the difference.
I think his ends are well intended and his means are misdirected.
Ooh, there you go.
Well said.
A really a flawed hero, right?
Yes, and that's because of the trauma that he suffered, right?
Fact.
So we're all gonna and what is that? What do they say? Hurt people hurt people.
Mm. Yeah, that's truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so he, because of his own imperfections, can leave a wake of pain and destruction when he chooses to, and he has.
Absolutely. What's up, Perry?
But he's also been one that can recognize it and change. So,
I mean, at his core, I think he has that possibility in him, and he certainly had eras, right?
He's got the capacity for both good and evil.
Truly.
Okay, because he was a good, I mean, he was an untainted soul until he entered that concentration camp, right? And then he came out the other side being completely transformed by the inhumanity that he had to experience.
Yep.
As if any of us wouldn't be, right?
Right. Can you blame him?
Right.
Like, it's like Caligula getting taken in by Tiberius, who was a fucking monster. Would you really expect Caligula to be any fucking different than he came out?
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Yep.
I'm just...
No, you're well... Yes, it's Lady X tonight. Get ready.
Kelly.
What's up, John? So, Caroline, a lot of the X characters are somewhat removed from reality, maybe not really into pop culture. You think of Storm growing up on the plains of Africa, coming to the mansion, kind of like culture shock for her. If you were going to show Storm a movie for the first time, what movie would you show Storm? You know, blow her mind or something. Just be like,
The gods must be crazy.
So good. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen this movie, gentlemen and ladies in the chat, that's a fantastic pick. This is I want to say this is a late 70s, early 80s comedy about a man living in the bush of Africa who a bottle of Coca-Cola falls out of the sky and he discovers it, and it becomes like the thing that changes his entire life.
It's a god. It becomes a god, a shrine.
Yeah. I've never seen this.
Oh my gosh. Hilarious. They made 2 of them, right?
Yeah, but I think the first one's like the one for me. But yeah, that's what I would show her.
Oh my
the concept.
I love this. Holy cow.
What's the name of it?
The gods must be crazy. Yeah, because at first it's like the thing that everybody in the tribe wants to use for every little job they've got because it works better than, you know, things they can find in nature. And then little by little it starts to completely disrupt their tribe. Yeah, crazy. Hilarious.
Nice.
Terrible night gambling, bro. Circumstances. He's gonna have to like recover, give some of his money back. Okay. If you were gonna fly somewhere, travel somewhere in the Blackbird, who would you trust to be your pilot?
Fucking putting Forge in there.
He knows his tech, right? If the ship breaks down, he'll be able to fix it.
And if it does, I'm blaming him if he can't fix it. If he can't fix it, then you're fucked, right?
That's fair.
I'm putting Forge there.
Yep.
Is John Byrne the greatest X-Men artist of all time? I know you're a fan of that era.
Yeah. For me.
Sure. It's this is all that's what it's all about. You.
Yep.
Those are the images that are seared into my memory. What is chaos in comics? No. What is he going to say? What are you going to say? Like Cockrum or Austin or?
He just likes to be different. He likes to be a contrarian.
He's a shit.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Is it better to join the Justice League or the X-Men?
Fucking X-Men. What is the Justice League? You know what the X-Men is? It's the Injustice League because they have to constantly deal with injustices.
I love it. That's fantastic. All right, I think I got 2 more for you. So let's see here. Do you like 80s X-Men better or 90s X-Men better?
80s.
Yep,
that's fair.
I'm with you.
I know that they were more popular in the 90s, but it's hard to beat some of these 80s for me. But
But
we're not there yet, Justin.
Yeah, I liked the 80s better. And but that's not because I started out watching the 90s stuff, but when I started watching the TV show is based on comics from the 80s.
Yes.
And so I wanted to know, what are these based off of? And so I went back to the comics
from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them, not all of them, and some were the late 70s, whatever.
Sure. All right. I'm going to change one of my common last questions just a little bit for you tonight.
Okay.
Who's the bigger jerk? Cyclops or Xavier?
Cyclops.
Still Cyclops. Okay.
Hands down.
Didn't even get to finish that question. It's like, I'm just picking this one first.
There's no one you can say that's bigger than Cyclops.
Oh, it's so good. Well, thank you, Caroline. That was fantastic. You have survived. Welcome to the X Mansion now.
Thank you. Have I got a room? I don't know who I have to bunk with. Who would you want to bunk with if you're going to the X Mansion? Who do you want? And you got a roommate. Who is your roommate?
I'm assuming that I couldn't just pick Storm.
You can't do that. That's weird. I can't be having babies in school now.
I as much as it would be difficult with the smell of brimstone everywhere, I'd probably pick Nightcrawler.
He's the one guy I don't think I would because of the smell.
Because of the brimstone.
He could get you out of trouble. Though, but they would smell and they'd be like, "What are you doing?"
You could sneak in and out real easily. He's also incredibly.
You know who I would pick?
Who are you gonna pick?
Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how you sneak.
But I can't
go get drunk with the boys outside.
See, I'm thinking if I'm trying to sneak a girl into my room and then it smells like brimstone, how do I explain that? It's just like
exactly.
If you're sneaking someone into the X Mansion and they don't know who Nightcrawler is, you're sneaking the wrong person in.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Who could nullify that? Like who could could pyro like a fart in the air, like light it like a fart and it just burn?
Just keep a lighter around.
So I'd keep. So both of them would have to be the roommates. Yeah. But then I'm like, it's really hot in here.
She's not alone to TM. It's not a hot button topic.
He did it to himself.
I mean, that's where it's at, Marcus. I wouldn't respect you if you didn't. But we'll get into that a little later too. As a reminder, stick around tonight. We got our questions coming up at the end, and we're going to ask you about last week's issue. But as Caroline has shown us, let's talk about this cover. Issue 188, John Romita Jr. in full swing. This is cover at least date, December 1984. Justin, we've been talking about the doldrums of John Romita covers of late. What are your thoughts on this pink, yellow, and blue masterpiece?
Yeah, so I feel like this is a cover, and again, because I wasn't reading this era, if I saw it flipping through books or whatever, it never really got my attention, or I don't think I ever really gave it the time and attention to really look at like what's going on in this cover. And now that I have, and now it's, reading this issue and knowing what happens inside, I feel like this is a very underrated cover. And I love the detail within everything that's going on. It like, I could see it being considered like loud in that regard. There is a lot happening, but that's because there's a lot happening. So I think that it's very fitting for, like I said, for this issue. The detail in the kind of the pink bubbles, as you could see everybody's mind, essentially, being exploded essentially. So yeah, I think it's a really cool issue and one that I definitely respect a lot more now that I've actually taken time to look closer at it and also read the issue. So
sure. Lady F, any thoughts on this cover? What do you think? Is John Romita Jr. Falling off the deep end here, or is he hitting a home run for you? What do you think? Personally,
in my taste, I think that's how you use 4 colors. It pops. This does catch my attention out of most covers, and it's because of the quote unquote negative space feel of the inverted pink white. Okay, and I think that those focal points of energy or invasive, psionic powers of this shadow beings or whatever. I mean, I think it's a banger. And so I like it. And I thought, if you're going to, you got cyan, magenta, black, white,
yellow.
Yeah, yellow. I like it. I think it pops.
And you got Circumstances agreeing with you there, and then Chaos saying, "I like this cover." Okay,
he doesn't. He's just going to be contrarian.
Always. I find this cover so busy that I've never studied it, like Justin said, as closely as I did for this show, and got to the detail of understanding what it was saying. But even now, I look at it and I'm like, I can't even tell necessarily what it all is until I like get that microscope out and start really diving into it. Right. So there is an element of it that I think is just a little bit much. I do like what you're saying, Caroline. The color work is phenomenal, and the use of color is really interesting.
I think it's creative.
Very.
Attempting to do sort of a negative almost.
Totally.
For sure.
So in that way, not one of my favorites, and it's one that I dismiss a lot. And it does make me think of bubblegum, Caroline. I agree. I'm way more contrarian than you. Come on, get out of here, Chris. Now that's the hottest take you've had today. So for me, it's not one of my favorites, but I do appreciate it. And if you have the book, you should take a look at how close you can get to it, because there is some really great detail going on with each of the heroes being caught in their yellow bubbles. But let's get into the story. We got that splash page that I shared earlier on my Instagram with all the heroes sort of being tackled by the shadow beings. And they're right where we left them off in Forge's Dallas skyscraper compound, with technology all around, but not much to save them from these magical, mystical beasts from the land of Rom and the alternate dimension, where they've sort of created this little wedge, this portal to come through into our world. We were battling dire wraiths previously in issue 187 and 186. Now we've seemingly defeated them, only to have a newer being to battle. All the heroes, Rogue, Colossus, Storm, Forge, all sort of wrapped up in the tentacles of the shadow being. And to escape, Forge decides, I need Storm to use the gun she's got and just shoot my prosthetic leg off, because that's all that's holding me. And when she does it, he's able to sort of hobble his way down to try to find his friend, the Native American shaman of the Cheyenne tribe. We can pronounce him Naze or Naze.
Nazi.
There it is. Sure. He's down there communing with the spirits, trying to find a solution to what's breaking into our world, trying to speak to a higher power that can assist them. But it doesn't work out so well. And he ultimately gets what seems to be killed. So a lot happening right here in these early moments. Justin, what were your thoughts? I know we've also been dealing with the roller coaster of Romita artwork. Seems like he's on a pretty good footing here to get us started, right?
Yeah. First, I have to say I'm a little disappointed in your GIF, your lack of Pokemon GIF. You could have had Gengar.
You're never going to get that. You're never going to get Pokemon out of me. I'm barely getting into One Piece. You're not going to get me into anime next. You're going too far with this.
Pushing the edge, pushing the limit. There's a ton of action here. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about like the design of this
the shadow being.
Yeah, like it kind of reminds me of the I know I'm blanking on the name, from like maybe 20-30 issues ago when we saw those where were they, like robotic, like black stick figure
type, I don't even remember what those were.
Yeah, like it's just like, if I don't know, like that was like lazy artwork, and this I feel like is kind of a little bit of a cop out for the inking part. Like, you could have spilled like ink and just they're like, all right, let's just make it a villain, and I don't know.
And we're throwing villain on top of villain on top of villain
right.
3 weeks in a row here.
It's definitely a lot, yeah, and they're introducing like really strange ones. I mean, this is clearly or literally out of this world stuff, but like, but anyway, so like I don't know, it's exciting that at least there's this action going on. I like that. There's still this friction that Storm and Forge have, and she like he's like shoot my leg and maybe I can get, and she like shoots it, and he's like, watch it, woman, you almost hit me, like, and I'm like,
she says, that is you. She says, if I wanted to, don't worry, you'll know.
Yeah, you would. Yeah. So like, I love the friction there still. Like, she is not letting up on that. And Nazi, like, he's like, he's clearly calling, but like for it seemed to be like some really selfish, like he like offers up the world, like he's like, if you do this for my people, you know, you can have whatever you like, have the world. Like, what is it that could be so, you know, for him to be willing to just offer the world? I don't know. Part of it's like evil to me, like his
decision, the barter he's making.
Yeah. Like what's his angle? And again, we're learning a lot with him right now still. So I guess we'll find out. But like,
right.
Just that moment I was questioning.
Sure. Caroline, what are your thoughts on this monster that's coming to get them, and the Native American shaman who seems to be giving away the world here?
I mean, I think this weird little shadow creature thing is lazy. It's kind of like you remember the whole on the island, Mir Island with the Shadow King.
The Shadow King, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of lazy, like, right. But how do you visualize something like that? So it is what it is. All right, cool.
Yeah.
The Naze guy, it's like, all right. I did like the intricacy and kind of the native patterning up in the upper right hand corner. My interpretation was he got turned into a wraith, or like a wraith like took his body or something that he warped into. But I don't know. Yeah, I was just like, okay, let's keep going.
And I don't know, what are your feelings on Forge and Storm at this point? Obviously very tempestuous with having just taken her powers away with that gun he made.
Yeah, look, Forge is 4 issues in, so he's just like on thin water. Like, he doesn't even know who he is yet.
Right.
Just like, quit fucking around, Forge, or you're gonna find out.
I mean, right? He's walking that line for sure.
Yeah, you're just you're a noob. You're a freshman, kid.
Well, moving on, we jump to the Dallas airport where apparently Nightcrawler is flying over in the Blackbird, and he's like, you know what I need is my girlfriend. She's right down there. So mid-flight, he bamfs down, grabs her, and bamfs back up into the Blackbird and continues on the way. Like, here we go. Like, I needed you. I need your magic. We're about to bust in. And then, but bamf, they're now in the fight. In the background, they've jumped right into this battle, and Amanda's like, okay, I've got to start casting some spells and saving some people here to try to save our heroes from dying, because they're all sort of being overwhelmed by the shadow beings. Caroline, it looks like Nightcrawler to the rescue here, right? And you always can use a good witch at your side.
Well, I have thoughts. Like, yeah, it's good. Ultimately, he's wanting to do a good thing, but it's like, man, boundaries, bro. I was like on shift. Like, am I going to lose my job? You can't be bamfing me. But then it's like, okay, fine. I'll do my thing. Anyways, I was just like, that's rude.
I mean, he doesn't even ask, right? But he can't. He's got to get back to the ship fast because nobody's piloting that thing.
I'm just like, can't even text a bitch,
Right? We've talked a lot this last couple of seasons about Amanda and what a loyal partner she has been to Nightcrawler, and these obviously incredible talents that she's got, these abilities.
He must be doing something right.
It's the tail.
Wink, nod.
It's the tail.
Sulfur smell.
It's always the tail.
Yeah.
Justin, what are your thoughts here on Nightcrawler and Amanda to the rescue?
Yeah, the fact that he just like jumps in while she's working and takes her away. I love the guy during the BAMF portion. Yes. The guy in the background. It looks like I think he's holding his microphone, but it looks like he's like holding his nose. Like, oh, what? Like,
yeah, the
like,
smell.
What's that smell? Yeah,
it could be both.
Yeah. So yeah, this seemed pretty abrupt, but I mean, I guess time is of the essence, and Nightcrawler, knows that. Like you said, he's got a witch in his life that could potentially do the trick, and those far panels there of Amanda when she's coming in, and the glaring light from her hand, like look, that all looks so cool
with all the little like designs in it.
Yeah, like that could be a poster.
The rest of them is trash. I mean, the rest of it's trash, right?
Agreed. Totally agreed.
Like,
just
you
that
did
one
good thing, and then you said, fuck it. And literally
they were tired.
I mean, I'm all about the
got
Nightcrawler in the captain's costume there with the hat and the
Lazy.
scarf.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah,
Right there by
scarf.
Caroline. I like that Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
The pilot crawler. Jedi says it's that issue 154 with the Sidrian Hunters.
Sidrian Hunters. Okay, yeah.
There you go. That's the monsters that look kind of like these guys.
Little stick figures.
Let's see here. We got Nightcrawler's costume change. Love for the costume. Adam says Nightcrawler used to have the conservation of momentum problem in previous issues. Doesn't really. Yeah, he seems to be breaking some of his rules. He doesn't necessarily see where he's going to teleport, and it's pretty far, and he's teleporting with somebody. But yeah, hey, he made it work. I guess.
Amanda has her changing clothes there too.
She does. Yeah, she's got the the knee-high boots and that amazing purple belt.
Maybe I don't know if she wears that under her work clothes. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. she can change her costume at will.
It's like Clark Kent.
We've got here Colossus trying to check on Rogue, but of course, the second he touches her, she is still half absorbed with the Dire Wraith. So she instantly tries to suck the life out of him, whips out that little tentacle thing and tries to kill him. And we're all just in deeper weeds. And then another hero to the rescue. We've got Ilyana showing up. She teleports in, recognizes that she can't do much to fight these creatures with any kind of powers except the Soul Sword, which we saw last time we had her in the Uncanny run. Whips out the Soul Sword and starts slashing these beasts down to rescue all of her friends from, suffering whatever monstrous fate these things will put upon them. Of course, they've got to be careful about touching Rogue. Storm's warning Colossus, don't touch her with your skin without gloves. She'll absorb you next. Just be careful. And in all of this, we've got our lovely Amanda Sefton trying to keep the monster at bay by weaving magic spells to hold the creatures from making their way into our realm. Lots of stuff going on here. Good sword action. I know that Lady F, you and I love fantasy novels. This has got some good fantasy action to it.
Agree. So I feel like there's more effort put into some of these panels. There's still some questionable ones. I do like the dynamism of the warping Storm, or not Storm, but Rogue. But of the Colossus, the little nasty dingly probes, he could have just done one. Like, we get the point. But
you get 2 panels of that.
Yeah, it's like, all right. He's just like, fuck, I'll do it again. I really like the way Romita does the light projection, where he makes it very symmetrical.
From Amanda.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so fun. Okay, magic's in. She's using the Eldritch Blade to and she's a little scared and ashamed of who she is, because she's been through some stuff with being the apprentice of Belasco, and so she's coming back a little changed, and Big Brother doesn't know yet. So.
They have yet to really converse since that time in a big way. And she's been on the New Mutants, and they've been on a ton of little adventures, and he was in Battle World and in the whole Secret Wars event, so they've really been separated for a significant chunk here.
Busy schedules.
It's hard to make time for family.
Yeah.
Justin, there's some really cool action happening here. I love even that panel where it says roar across the bottom in red, and you see the beasts trying to be held at bay by Amanda. What are your thoughts on some of the things happening here?
Yeah, the roar, I really like that. Very similar to, I think last issue or 2 issues ago with Storm when she got shot. And we got like a similar kind of verbiage down the during the action scene. Like for me, this is I was super excited to see Magic, and again, I mean, we're not currently following along with where Magic has been, and I know that might be something we do, but I normally don't think too far ahead especially when I'm like first opening up a book. I don't normally like question like where's this going or anything like that. But for this issue, I kind of just paused for a second in that first splash page, thinking like where is this going exactly? And is Lilandra going to show up? Is this like it's going into outer space? Like
they didn't know what they were doing.
No, I mean they're making it up as they go along. Justin just froze though on us, so he got frozen. We lost our guy. Yeah, I mean, I do think at this time in history, it does weigh on the reader a lot to know what's kind of going on in the New Mutants run. This is still early in Claremont's New Mutants, and a lot of crossover seems to happen with what's going on in one book versus the other. Rogue, Illyana, we saw Doug not too long ago with Kitty Pryde and stuff going on with her in the Hellfire Club, breaking into the Hellfire Club. So I think this is kind of one of those things where when it comes to having the knowledge of the New Mutants, maybe that helps or doesn't help here. I don't know. What do you think, Justin?
It's like 3 times in like 30 minutes. Ridiculous.
I know, man. You got to stop getting that AOL.
Sorry, no, I really gotta get anyways, I'm excited for that magic's here. That's my main point to all this. And yes, I love the green background, that panel above the roar. That's a really cool one too.
And we haven't really seen her do her teleporting and that cool like disc that she sort of appears on when the lights are all around her before in X-Men. Obviously, It's something that we get in New Mutants for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's what AOL stands for. Almost my life. There it is. All right, let me move on and see what's happening on the next. This is where we see it. Okay, we get Amanda is weaving a little web to try to close this portal to keep the creatures from coming through. It's not really working. They're pushing through her magic spells. Illyana tries to, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to cut this sucker down. But no, she gets launched right back to the wall, just absolutely laid down. And they realize, no, you know what it is? Something's keeping them here. Something's allowing them to be here. Something's casting spells that I can't see. And then Storm realizes, oh, you know that dire wraith I didn't kill up on the roof? It's kind of a sorcerer. That might be part of the problem here. So that's when Forge and Nightcrawler are like, quick, bamf me up there. Let's take care of this thing. They jump up there. The creature's right there. They clear the snow away. And Nightcrawler's like saying, wait, what are you going to do? And he's like, don't ask me foolish questions. And he just pops a cap in this guy. Stone cold killer, Justin. This is one of my favorite, if not the best panel for me, I think, is that light on Forge's face and Nightcrawler just like eyes wide. He's just blowing him away.
Yes, completely stunned. Yeah, this was a great way to like, and the fact that it just goes right into the next scene after this, like I love that. Right. That's the scene. Like that's all you need. And yeah, to see the artwork in that definitely has my attention. The lighting, the glare that we see from all that. Also the page before this where Magic is like dashing at with her blade at the
right here
the net. Right. That's so cool. It's like I really like that. I mean, probably not the net portion of it, but her actually dashing and everything else over the team. They're all like kind of crouching down. I thought that was cool.
Sure. Caroline, Callie says hashtag that's my Forge. What are your thoughts here on this cold-blooded killer?
I'm fine with it.
Do what you gotta do,
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just like another day, another dollar in the world of Forge. I'm not trying to let a race live. Like,
no, he's clearly going to kill us all.
Do you want that fabric to reality to break?
Nope.
So, all right, then you're gonna,
Now, Amanda and Illyana doing a lot of hard work here, Caroline, as far as like carrying the load for this X-Men team. I think it's kind of cool to see these ladies running the show.
Well, I mean, so let's think about this. The Wraiths are somebody said the Wraiths are all sorcerers or sorceresses or whatever. They all have that kind of power.
Right.
And the only two people that are capable of demonstrating that kind of power is the literal witch and Illyana, who went through the fires of hell to learn sorcery.
Yeah, and they both have a matching power set that's completely worthy of the challenge that they're facing in this regard. Adam says all Illyana would have done was cut through Amanda's binding spell, so that's probably not a good thing. She's a kid. Lay off. She's still learning, right? She's still learning. Okay. So
save your criticism for Cyclops.
So instantly this kills the remaining shadow beings, cancels their spell, releases our heroes from their grasp, and gives Colossus a chance to check on his sister. Illyana says, well, Professor Xavier was monitoring this situation, and by the way, I can teleport. It's kind of my thing now. And that's how I got here. They're also being very careful to take care of Rogue without actually like touching her, doing their best to keep her safe.
Oh, gosh, that bitch!
Yeah. So Ileana, sort of spills her guts to her brother here about, look, I got these powers. I had this experience. I hope it doesn't change how you see me. And I know I was a lot younger when you knew me. And he's like, you're always my sister. I'm just happy that you're safe. And thank you for saving us. Meanwhile, Forge has gone down to check on his friend, the shaman, and finds him near death and realizes that he clearly was trying to commune with the spirits. And it sort of makes Forge confirm he wants to ignore the spiritual, mystical side of his abilities and focus on the technological sides. And this seems to affirm that belief system. But then Storm comes to the door, and Storm is there to basically remind him, there's a payment due between you and I. And at some point, I'm going to cash in, and you may not like it. And he keeps harping away on the fact that, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to make it better. One day you'll be happy to see me. And she's like, maybe you won't be happy the next time I see you, because I want to pop cap in you. Justin,
Very
what are your
Pam Grier vibes?
Yes. Justin, any thoughts here on how Storm is holding her own against Forge's advances?
I really like that she continues to stand her ground on how she feels about all this stuff, even when they just went through this dramatic experience. She's just like, hey, I don't forget and I don't forgive, and I love the gun scenes, like the her pulling that on him with the black background, nothing else there. And then just the moments, the brother sister moments there. Interesting to know that this is the time that she really reveals that stuff to him about the apprentice.
I'm pregnant.
That she wants to,
With a demon baby.
Yeah, Belasco's baby on the way.
Belasco, yeah.
Carolyn, I threw in this like Sin City thing because there's a lot of silhouette stuff here. I kind of dig the use of the lighting and the color work here, and of course that profile Mohawk Storm. These are some decent panels, don't you think?
But we could also look at, these are kind of lazy. This is kind of lazy, guys. How many panels can we count up and it'd be like 40% of the comic? What are you guys doing? Jerking around? Come on, boys.
I mean, you give me Mohawk Storm in the profile, I'm gonna probably
good. Look. But I mean, the whole bottom. There's an excess. We didn't need the Storm by herself, really. We could have gotten rid of the profile on the bottom or the upper right. I don't know. I'm just saying there's just some stuff.
Yeah. Well, plus it's like profile at the bottom, you get Forge. Okay, Forge is standing in the doorway. Then it's like 2 panels later, Storm standing in the doorway. And then 3 panels later, Storm standing in the doorway again. There's a lot of that.
It's just like, y'all just fucking around playing too much. What is it? Atari. ColecoVision.
Jackson Roy Kirk saying, I need to dig out my New Mutants floppies. Get ready, buckle up. That might be a plan for the future.
You guys should do that. That'd be fun.
I think
I would do New Mutants.
I think we're ready.
Yeah,
we might do the first omnibus of that next season.
Yep.
Ileana with the doe eyes. I've done things, bro. Still love me? That's how I read that.
I'm going to tell you, Jedi Knight, how I feel. I don't.
I love it, Lydia feels like I do about this art.
I think it's a little lazy.
Old Wolf says, doesn't it make it dramatic?
If you do like 1 or 2, but they did what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think it's between that plus the lazy monster drawings that really doesn't
also have.
This is how John Byrne art lovers feel after being spoiled. I mean,
Chet's like, oh, this makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that John Romita Jr. is not talented, but I can see how deadlines influenced maybe this.
Sure.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna cut away to the ocean. We got sailing at sea, our long lost friends. This is what's her name? Oh God, I've already forgotten her name. Lee. Sorry. Yes, Lee and her dad and their fishing vessel, and they're out there trawling along, and they see a shark attacking a stranded person in the ocean. She starts popping caps on this thing. Then she decides, I'm just going to swim out there. This is a shark. She swims out there to rescue Magneto. and pulls him to shore, kicking the shark in the face while her dad shoots at it again. Thankfully, people shooting at people's legs and not hitting things. That's good. They pull him to the boat. He seems to recognize her, and they're all just like, wait, what? Magneto? What's he doing in the ocean? For those that don't know, this connects to New Mutants yet again. Issue 21 is where we kind of saw some destruction to Asteroid M, and where Magneto was living, and he fell to Earth, and this is the result of that. Not that we necessarily needed that, but that's the piece you might be missing if you want to read New Mutants 21.
Okay, sleepy reader, I'm gonna agree and be less, because look, let's just put it this way. I couldn't do this. I couldn't pencil a book in 2 years. So look, you're right.
Justin, any thoughts here on the return of Magneto? Maggie's back.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when the last time we saw him in the main series, because I was just as I was reading this, I was like, oh hey, yeah, there's that guy. Like,
it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, like
I mean, been, bro,
the stuff that you mentioned with New Mutants, I haven't read that, so I really don't know too many. I mean, things I've heard, but
and I want to say the X-Men versus Avengers event was in here somewhere, and he's part of that mini series as well. And it might have been the thing that preceded the New Mutants thing.
150.
So that's been a long while. If it was 150,
yeah. Or was it 160 too? 160, I think, had him. Or is that? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Oh, maybe that was a flashback one. The other thing was he was, we saw him, or I'm reading him in the Secret War stuff.
Yes,
I'm only halfway through that, but
he returns to to Asteroid M after Battle World. He doesn't.
That's where he always goes when he gets butt hurt.
This is true. and then that. Has an issue with Warlock, the New Mutant character Warlock, not Adam Warlock, and that's what causes him to fall to Earth.
Okay.
And not Adam Warlock. Warlock lands better. He lands in the X-Mansion pool. Works out better for him.
Oh, nice.
If you're gonna pick middle of the ocean with sharks or the X-Mansion pool, I go pool every time.
But by the way, whatever, this is such a ridiculous gift there.
The punching the shark.
Yeah,
I just thought it was hilarious. They're shooting and kicking the shark, and I was like, I need this. It's got to be a Sharknado clip of some kind.
Yeah,
but I'm like,
so random.
Caroline, any thoughts here on the return of Lee Forrester and apparently Magneto fighting sharks?
So random. It's like a soap opera.
Sprinkling the seeds.
Heck yeah. Like sands in the hourglass.
Well, and we're almost exactly 1 year from the trial of Magneto, the iconic issue 200. And clearly, I think this is Claremont reminding us, hey, Magneto's still out there, and I got some plans for him later. Be ready.
Yeah.
Because again, 1 year from now is one of the biggest Magneto issues ever.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Lee back. I'm glad to see Lee's back. Yeah.
Because
and not with Cyclops.
I'm not.
She's finally realized not to be with that guy.
That's right. Lee is the woman Scott took on that quote unquote layover.
Scott's a hoe.
We do know this. Doesn't the shark make it dramatic? I mean, I guess. I mean, she kicks it with her sneaker just fine.
Next page.
We got bathing suit time. I
love sorry.
Magic Lasso. I got your Wonder Woman there. There's Linda running. But yeah, you've got Storm is swimming in the pool, and Nightcrawler comes to ask a favor of her. Not only is he going to wrap her in a towel and give her a hug and work that out, but he also says, look, I've called Xavier for a big meeting and I want to talk to him. Will you please be there? And she says, well, I'm not an X-Men anymore. I'm not a mutant. I don't have powers. There's no reason for me to go. I'm not involved anymore. Wash my hands of this whole thing. But he says, I know that, but please, would you come for me at least? And the remaining X-Men are going to have this long talk with Xavier, but the New Mutants want to all listen in. So you got Rachel, you've got Roberto, you've got Ileana. They're all sitting on the staircase, peeping Tom, putting their ear to the wall, listening in on what's going on in the room. And you get the sense that Nightcrawler is very frustrated by government. Right now, the government are the ones that put Forge's weapon into the hands of the wrong people, gave them the authority to shoot at mutant characters with this power taking device. And he feels like this is a big escalation, and that as the X-Men, they need to either get involved in this in some way or remove themselves from this equation completely. Big ideas happening here. And, ladies in bikinis. Caroline, I think you got some thoughts here.
Yeah. So one, I think like, okay, so are y'all just friends? Because this is pretty hot.
Yeah, I was like, what? Do they hook up? I don't remember them hooking up.
If I was Kurt, I mean, it'd just be like, and then she, and they do a little kiss. I'd just be like his little tail is curling up,
Yeah.
I don't know, and it's like they're close, man.
I mean, she gives him a kiss on the cheek. Clearly,
he's like, I got a meeting. Just one.
They're a little close. They're just like they're pretty close, man. That's close. Yeah, I just would feel awkward if Amanda were around. Like,
she would not approve.
I'd be like, damn, come on. And then as far as it has to do with,
Rachel Summers sitting on the stairs there thinking deep thoughts.
She's listening in and she's about to lose her shit. But when it comes to Nightcrawler talking about like, okay, well, if this world like hates us and wants to get rid of us, like, should we even fucking be involved in it? Like, because I could just wipe my hands and call it quit and just not involve myself. Like, so all I want is like me. Yeah, I just want a wife and family. So, like, right. What's the deal? What are we doing here? Because this is not looking good. Mm-hmm. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Jackson Roy Kirk and Magic Lasso happy with Linda Carter because we all are. Because it's Linda Carter. Nightcrawler was too eager to put that towel on Storm. Bobby says, "Can't trust the government. Don't trust the government."
God dang right.
These panels are fan service for John. Maybe required viewing. Want your towel? Poof, over here. No, it's over here. Poof. There you go. I get it. Justin, some big ideas, both from Storm as like I'm not a part of this anymore, and now Nightcrawler saying maybe I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Maybe I don't. These are some bold statements from characters that have been so forthright in being a part of this movement, right?
Oh, big time. I mean, since the beginning of us, reading with Claremont, hearing Storm the way that she's kind of talking, I mean, it just further extends, what's going on in her world of how she's dealing with her loss of powers, and I don't blame her for kind of feeling that way, and she's almost in a good mood though. Like it's like she's like, yeah, why should I care? She's like,
feels like she's got a burden lifted,
getting ready to right. And then
which is very different than the sort of depressed version we saw in that Barry Windsor Smith issue where she was almost not even getting out of bed. Right.
Yeah.
She was like broken.
She's like, I'm ready to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere but here.
Yeah.
That last scene of Nightcrawler, I have to just say, as I read that last line of his, I immediately just broke into my Hamilton One Last Time song. So any Hamilton fans out there, that just hit perfectly. And then I'll go. You can go into the next pick.
Well, I was gonna say it's funny you say that because I read her line where she says, "This is not the end of the world, my dearest elf, or even mine. I am a grown woman. I have survived. I will survive." Nice. So that's for my man Magic Lasso. I know it's Gloria Gaynor and not Diana Ross, but I got some of the same feels of. So that's the one that was really for you, Magic Lasso. I know I gave you some Linda Carter too. Moving on. Nightcrawler continues to spin this web of like, look, I think we need to make big choices about what we're doing now, and you can't play off what the government is doing and downplay the threat that they are to us. And he gets really upset and he starts listing off all of the things that under Xavier's reign. He says Banshee and Storm have been maimed, Thunderbird's killed, Jean Grey is killed. Where does it end? And as he lists all these things, it dawns on Rachel that like, yeah, it's funny, I haven't seen Jean Grey. Oh crap, she's dead. And then just psychically goes into a rage and freaks out. And everybody has to like calm her down before she kills Nightcrawler. Huge moment here. Justin, you were saying you want to jump to this next page. What were you impressed or shocked? What did this do for you?
Yeah, I mean, well, one, again, just like more of hearing out Nightcrawler and kind of where he stands on all this, and just questioning like, what's the point if they're going to continue to come after us the way they are. He talks about like the how great the world and technology has come, how far things have come, and then he reminds like, Professor X, like, yeah, and yet, you remember when you first found me, I was being chased down with pitchforks, from a bunch of farmers, and that was in giant size
because they thought I was a demon.
And I like that Nightcrawler is like having this conversation, and he essentially has had enough. Like, he needs to have this conversation, and he wants the whole team there, obviously including Storm, as we just talked about. So yeah, this was, definitely a heavy discussion, and then of course gets broken up out of nowhere and I was really, before we got to see Rachel and everything, I was kept thinking like, when are we, like, where does this go with like the cover? Like the cover had nothing to do with anything, and then all this, I'm like, oh, like, seeing that her drawing there, kind of crouched down, and the yellow around her head, and just like beams going everywhere, her just looking so distraught, her face as Professor X tries to like hold her down. You definitely feel her emotion coming out, and obviously understandable with her discovery of of everything. So
Candace pretty well. Says, poor Rachel, you invite the homeless girl into your house, and then when she goes off, you don't know. Lady Fantastic, what are your thoughts on what Nightcrawler is saying here? And then of course Rachel getting a shocking bit of truth.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were hurt as many times as Nightcrawler, or ostracized as many times as Nightcrawler, you can certainly see why this would be a logical feeling for him to take.
Yeah.
Because he's at a crossroads. Do I stay or do I go?
Right. Frustration.
Is there really a cause, or is there not?
And I think ultimately Rachel is in a similar place where she's the woman stuck between two worlds and trying to find a place for herself to fit in all that.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, they're wanting to give up and shit. And she's like, no, you can't give up, because there's still hope in this world. Where I'm from.
This whole bit, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I just wanted to have the right panels for you.
Yeah. Where I'm from, it's final. Like, some of you guys are dead where I'm from, or I see you die.
Yeah.
And so, but now you guys are all here. You can still alter this. You can't give up now. We're all in this. I need you, because I need my parents.
Yep. I love, so she basically launches into her backstory and then like projects images into their minds of what she experienced, and is basically telling them, no, you got to stick together. I need you guys. Although then hilariously, she says, when you stick together, Amanda and Nightcrawler die and Professor X dies and you guys all die. But like, stick together. We need to stay together, but like change everything, but stay together. There's a little contradictory there. But of course, for fans of Days of Future Past, this obviously harkens to issues 141 and 142. Like we've been hinting at with Rachel's story, that she was the last one to sort of survive this timeline and has chosen to come here for that reason. Some really cool kind of artwork too here with some of the like silvery Colossus faces. And then the throwbacks to like, you get the spear thing killing Storm from that classic issue, or the Sentinel blast that annihilates Wolverine, which we all now know would never really work.
It's just like, I think this is a little lazy. Again, it's like, okay, guys, that was 40 issues. That was 48 issues ago. That's 47 issues ago. But I mean, all right, okay,
we're back again, because that's Rachel's whole story, right?
Yeah, it's fair.
Justin, thoughts here on Rachel trying to convince them to be a team still?
So one, I would say, I would hope this made some sort of effort to maybe introduce or reintroduce like the idea of 141 and 142, maybe to those who are newer readers, or got in late, or for whatever reason, and being like, hey, some of our best work is back at 141, 142.
Their best work, best work.
Yeah. So I could see that being like a little sprinkle of what they were trying to do.
I mean, that's fair, because if I wrote that shit too, I'd be like, hey, you remember this?
Yeah, I'd be bringing it up every week.
What a highlight reel.
Yeah, it'd be a highlight reel. But yeah, I mean, I love that we revisit some of this because we get moments that we didn't get in 141 and 142. Some of the detail, that it goes into. And I was talking to Candace, previous to the show, and it was like yesterday. I was telling her, like, try if you can, like, catch up on 141, 142. I know she was already like starting to get into that, like when we talked last week. I'm not sure if she was able to catch up or not, but strictly for the purpose of seeing some of this, not that it's like required reading per se. Obviously, it's stuff that you should, you certainly any X-Men fan should read at some point. But I just feel like I have such an extra appreciation for some of these moments, and to see the extra detail of again how Kurt gets taken out with Amanda, like just how it goes into some of those things. Even that black and red, like I love this panel here. It's so dark, for what it's like representing. Yeah, like it just hits the right spot for that one panel. And
well, and I'll jump to the next one if you want to keep going a little bit with because she keeps going with her speech, right, to convince them like this is more important being part of this, mentioning obviously things about Rogue's parents, Mystique and the assassination attempt from God Loves Man Kills and the Days of Futures Past stuff. A lot of stuff comes up for them about being persecuted and the questions about Xavier's dream and the reality of making it work. And then of course throwing a little Spider-Man line there, steal Spider-Man's line, power and responsibility and all that. It's some big heavy stuff here, right? They're all basically having a come to Jesus moment here, little Justin.
Yeah, big time, especially the panels next to you, seeing some of the thought bubbles between, so like Colossus just questioning things about Kitty Pryde, like, he sees the future of him being married to her. So he's like, like maybe there still is this chance. Maybe there is this like opportunity for us to still make things work. Meanwhile, Kurt, very much to your point, John, of like being contradictory, like Kurt's like, yeah, Rachel, you're kind of proving my point here as to, we are hinting to they're going to continue to come after us. Like, right. And this is going to his point. So he's still very much torn and has a good point to it. And then Rogue is like, I'm not even in the picture. Like, where am I? Did I get dumped off somewhere? Which is a great point. Like, it's just, obviously it's just a different world, a different future. And who knows, like how maybe she was taken out at some other point in some other dark way. But just from what Rachel's exposed to, this is what she knows. And I'd be pretty concerned for Rogue, like, when do I die? Like, what, why didn't I make it as far as the rest of them,
right.
So it's it really is cool to hear, little aspects of each character and what they're concerned with, where their priority lies, that they're all different too. They're not all,
and you don't get any of Storm's thought bubbles. I love that she is like blank.
Yeah. She's like, I'm out.
I'm not even part of this family.
I wasn't even supposed to be in this meeting.
Not my meeting.
Yeah.
I love the group hug. Not you, Rogue. Yeah. Not you, Rogue. No hugs. No hugs. Caroline, what are your thoughts here on how this kind of discussion wraps up for the team?
I think she does an adequate enough job to get them to be like, yeah, you got a point. We have to be the change we want to see in the world, and it's shitty now, but like, if what she says is true, then like, yeah, we do need to restructure and refocus and regroup.
Yeah. And we're at a crossroads for a lot of these characters. For those that have read ahead and know where Storm and Nightcrawler and some of these characters are heading, there's a lot of big crossroads going on here for these characters. Let's see. Candace is saying she didn't finish yet, but those issues are going to those issues have a recap for issues prior to, which is helpful too, since I started last. Yes. Nice. See, wow, you mutants have it rough. Thank goodness I'm a human now.
Yeah,
thank the goddess. I'm a human now.
Nailed it. All right, well let's finish out here with an epilogue at the fishmongers, where they're digging around in the fish and they find some jewelry. This guy's like, oh, look at this necklace. This is clearly a great idea, even though it's talking to me in a creepy voice. I'm gonna hold on to this bad boy.
Hearken, O man, and I have power. Don me, obey me, and the world is yours.
And he's like, talking jewelry.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
He says,
No
"What a
question
pretty
about
necklace! I'm gonna wear it."
Boys, come look. And then we have our X-Mail read over by Nightcrawler this time around. And you got some people comment. There's a really sweet letter of somebody saying that, they felt a real kinship with Nightcrawler because of physical deformations that make them feel like they understand what he goes through being ostracized for his appearance. And then there's a great, the last part of the letter pages is a hilarious fight song. They rewrite the Harvard fight song to be lyrics for cheering on the X-Men. Pretty funny because they felt like the school needed its own fight song. Pretty funny if you have the time to read it, but it's the entire last column of the letters section. It's a very long song.
Wait, what is this necklace? You'll have to read along, but I'll show you the pretty picture of the necklace. Oh, wait, you see it? It's right down. It's at the.
I'm sorry. Yes, it's
Yeah,
down in the
she had
corner.
it.
It's that little cute little blue
Yeah.
gemstone
pretty
gold necklace. Yep.
Bling bling.
The necklace will happen. Don't worry. Be ready. It's not for nothing. Thoughts on all this bling here at the end, Lady F? What you find a necklace in a fish's mouth, you're gonna wear it, right?
Every time.
Lots of funny little epilogues here, though. I mean,
It was pretty goofy. I'm just like, okay, whatever. This ain't Magneto, whatever.
Yeah, Magneto's rescued from sharks. Gemstones saved from fish guts. X-Men
reminded me
deciding
of,
whether they're with the team.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you're
Reminded me
right.
of.
Totally. Them on the back of the truck.
Yeah, so it's like, what?
So
Classic.
accurate.
Anyways.
Justin, any thoughts here on the epilogue?
Yeah, I mean, I was just laughing at the idea of this talking necklace, and I guess I would want to wear a talking necklace too.
Right.
But it lightened the
load.
load. It definitely lightened the mood here, after
Right.
coming off of such a heavy discussion
For sure.
and action. So, but now I guess we're not going to really find out until more than 3 weeks from now because we're going to be shifting gears here.
The next few issues in the Omnibus are the Wolverine and Kitty Pryde 6-issue miniseries. So that's where we're jumping next.
Kicking it off with that one right
fans that want to keep up. But before we jump into that too far, Justin, let's hear your overall review. Do you have a score for this issue on a CGC scale? Is there a grade you would give this?
Yeah, so a lot of mixed feelings. I mean, there's a lot that goes on here. And I think some of the artwork and the laziness in that aspect, hurts the book grade a little bit, but at the same time, the details of some of the story with Rachel and just the gathering at the very end of it, the character building between brother and sister,
Ileana and Peter.
Ileana and Peter, and then also seeing the reveal of Magneto again, like just to spark a little bit, even though it was random, just to spark a little bit of interest. And there are moments of artwork that I do like. I think I'm falling in like an 8, maybe an 8.5, just because of the emotional side of the discussion.
Sure.
So I think I'll go between like an 8 and 8.5 for something like this.
All right. What about you, Caroline? Did you have any score for this issue? I know it's tough going back. You mentioned before we went live, you were like young me who read this issue versus me now. Very different feelings.
Yeah, let me just preface this. Young me reading this, I'm going to 9.4 it. I'm going to 9.6 it reading this for me the first time. Reading it now, having the experiences, the education, the insights that I have, I'm going to go like with what Chet said, like it's more of like a 7,
That's fair.
because, and I only give it that high because of the social discussions, the socially relevant discussions that they're having.
Yes.
And that's why X-Men has always been a little different for me.
for sure.
Fair. Yeah.
And I probably would be higher. I'd probably go in an 8.0 range. I do love that final sequence, the discussion, the Nightcrawler speech, so strong. And
we know you like the Storm moments,
and
John.
the Storm getting out of the pool, not bad.
That knocked it up a few, I'm sure.
I love seeing Forge just pop a cap in a dire wraith. That was always very entertaining. So there are pieces that hold a lot of joy.
Had to happen.
Necessary for sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at a little math here. There is a 10.0 in the world somewhere. There are 3 9.9s, and none of those 4 books have ever been sold anywhere, but you can get a 9.8 if you want this cover on your wall, about $80 fair market value. I wrote down just some random things. Obviously, Rachel is technically kind of joining the X-Men at this point. She's a member for the next few bits here. We get some of her backstory alluded to. The villain known as the adversary is technically, this is his cameo as he is dealing with Naze. That's kind of the character that's hinted here. Yeah, not Nazi. And of course, Ilyana finally reveals the truth about her new powers to her brother. Some important little bits here and there. Caroline, any thoughts on the math here on the information for this issue?
Meh. I mean, I've got one.
There it is.
Meh.
You got all you
need. IDGAF about slabs. That's all I got to say about that.
Justin, there's we haven't had a 10.0, I think, yet, have we? Is this our first 10?
Not in this season. Okay. I think we had one last season. Yeah, it's definitely been a while, but
for sure.
Yeah, I don't think this is a book I'd want to have wrapped up. I'd rather read it.
Yeah, this is going in my lawn box, my X-Men box too. Right after we get off of here, I'm putting it back.
So Jackson is saying, for sure, I'm still young me, says Bobby. That's why he gave
That's
it.
Fair, Bobby.
I saw Bobby gave it a 9.4.
Yeah, I didn't highlight some of that. Bobby's saying 9.4.
Young me is so there with the enthusiasm because I didn't understand that, this is all I had. It was opening my world. You know what I mean?
I get it. I almost disagree with the I would flip those numbers, Jackson.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I like the second half better than the first half, but second half had Bikini Storm and a speech by Nightcrawler that slayed, and Rachel Summers losing her sheet. So I throw all that in. I like the second half of time, but that's me. And that is it, folks. That is all we wrote. That is it. Thanks you, Caroline, for chatting a little nostalgia with us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
We're gonna segue into the trivia portion of the program here. We got 2 questions each about last week's episode and last week's issue 187, and we're looking for some fun answers in the chat. As always, the first 2 correct answers get entries in the raffle, the big giveaway. Like we mentioned, Thony Silas, the featured artist for the season 4 of Omni X-Men. So you could win that commission for yourself. But we also want one highly entertaining comedic answer. We're going to put Caroline down in the bunkhouse here, so because she is going to be the one that decides who gets that 3rd entry for all of our questions tonight.
She is the judge.
All powerful. Let's see, Justin, do you want to go first with your first question? You have your questions ready? To mine ready?
Yeah, I can go first. I was just making sure it didn't matter, right, between the 2. No, I think we're good. All right. Yeah, my first question is, how does Storm escape the first wraith that attacks her from last issue? So early on, towards the beginning of the issue, as when she's first attacked, how does she escape that wraith? Particular move that she does that I'm looking for as far as the answer goes. How does Storm escape the first wraith that attacks her?
It's not Thony. It's a different Thony that's doing the artwork for. It's not the old wolf. He's a worthless artist. You don't want them.
I'm not thanking him for that. He said I kicked ass. That's why I'm thanking him.
Oh, okay, good. Because he doesn't do
my
artwork.
Ego.
You're like, Thony cannot draw.
All right. She escapes by doing the limbo. That's how she escapes the dire wraith. The gun shooting skills taught to her. The screams, "I don't know, let go of my purse." That's not. I see 2 correct answers, Justin. Are you willing to call them that?
Sure. Yeah,
I know it's an In Excess album title, but Kick is the correct answer. Whether it's all in caps or all in lowercase, we got 2 answers there.
That's right.
She pulls the Lee Forrester.
She kicks him in the face. That was my initial like write down.
Oh, you want me to blow it up there? Sorry.
Right there?
Yeah, with those high heels, those amazing shoes she's wearing to fight bad guys. Yeah.
Yep.
So she kicks him, Old Wolf and Chet, in the face. Doesn't kick him in the sensitive area because it's a dire wraith. Do they have sensitive areas? I don't know. They got that weird tentacle on their forehead. All right, I'm not seeing a lot of comedy answers in here, Lady F. I don't know if we got any winners going here.
Man, thought this was a layup. Thought this would.
Oh, do you want me to get? Do you want me to tell you what I want?
Pick which one you like.
I say let go of my purse.
There it is, Callie getting his second raffle ticket on the list here.
That's
my man.
from Bobby. I don't know. You let
was
go
that Bobby?
of my purse. Self-defense.
Oh,
Bobby.
Got to be watching for it.
I used to love that show.
Okay. When they're battling, what is we have the character of Naze, Nazi, whatever in the fray. What is his weapon of choice? What weapon does he use to battle the dire wraiths? And it's not channeling demons that nearly kill him. That's what he tried this week. What did he? What was he? What was he working with last week? Then she kicks him in the nards, says Callie. That's fair. Callie says jazz hands. That's cool. That's a good tool. Adam says the sharpest of wits. That's what he uses. I get it. A pizza slicer, cowabunga, dudes.
62.
What was the question again?
What weapon does Naze use? Correct answer is shotgun. So it's the same 2 gentlemen again coming through with the correct answer. Just copy and paste them. I don't think that's the weapon he uses, but I don't want to. I'm not going to kink shame anybody.
I like sharp wit.
Sharp wit, Adam. There you go. Making stuff up. A really big. You can't even spell big right. Oh my goodness. Going back to Justin for his second question.
All right. My second question is, what did Storm say that she learned from Logan from back in the day? There was a reference there when Storm was talking to Naze, and
there could be a lot of funny answers for this.
And Storm said that she learned something from Logan from back in the day. What was it that she learned from Logan? Oh, wise Logan.
This is tricky. There's a lot of semi-correct answers here. What do you want to go with here?
Oh man,
are you okay with this? Really, is the question. Shooting a gun.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, Tony.
All right, and chat with how to shoot a gun.
That's correct. That is correct. Man, the 2 of them duos tonight.
Learn how to make how to make a proper sandwich. That's Logan's got that skill. Lube it if you love it. Magic lasso coming in hot tonight. How to properly hold a flashlight when he worked in the car. There you go.
I want lube it if you love it.
How to make a sandwich with air turbulence. Oh my goodness. How to make a man beep 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 beep. There you go. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're going with lasso. Lube it, love it. Ryan coming in hot tonight. Last question is, what kind of illusion does Forge create for the dire wraiths? He's trying to distract them. He's trying to stop them, and he uses his technology to create an illusion. What is the illusion that he creates to stop the dire wraiths? I want 2 names ultimately for the correct answers. For the funny answers, you do whatever you like. For the funny answers, you can say he creates the front row at the Diana Ross concert. Just right there. Performance. Lights on. Show happening.
Well, what was it? Say this question again?
What is the illusion that Forge creates to distract the dire wraiths?
Oh, yeah.
He creates the illusion that Storm actually loves him. The holographic image of Tupac. It is two names. Diana is one and Ross is the other. That's fair.
Yeah.
He parted the waters in the pool. All right. A lot of comedy going on here. Still waiting for one correct answer. I've got one, I guess. There it is. All out.
Yeah.
Rom and his partner Starshine. He creates the illusion of Rom and Starshine.
Yeah.
Starshine.
Comedically, we got a lot of things happening this time.
Yeah, I think mine's. I'm gonna have to go that Storm actually loves him.
That is quite an illusion at this phase.
Nice,
Candace holding strong, staying tough. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Huge thank you to Caroline for partying with us tonight.
Yes, thank you, Caroline.
Suffering through Romita again.
It was fine. It was fine. It was good. Nice to visit these things. It's interesting.
Absolutely. Yep. I love the nostalgia of this kind of stuff. Go back to that Bronze Age and soak in it again.
Yeah.
Next week, we are back on Justin's channel. As a reminder, we're doing Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, the 6-issue miniseries, and we're going to break it into 2-issue chunks instead of doing every single issue. So we'll be doing issues 1 and 2 next week with our man One Collection Down, Fable, Station to Fable. He'll be joining us next time on Justin's channel. I got the link down below for Thony, Silas, and his artwork. So if you want to follow Thony and get a piece from him, or at least see more of his stuff, I know he was selling poster prints at one point, so you can hang some of that stuff on your wall if you want to buy some. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Take care.
Later. Bye.